What's up guys, it's me again, my name's Matt. Today we're talking about apartment showings, 4 tips. Number 1, how you present yourself in the property matters. First let's talk about yourself. You're the owner, the landlord, how you dress is very important. Right now, the reason I'm making this video is because I'm showing myself in about an hour, so I figured I'd make this video since I'm already here. What I'm wearing is simply a denim shirt, khakis, and dress shoes, sort of. You don't want to show up in gym clothes looking like a bum. You want to dress up nicely to show that you actually care. So you're going to dress up, you're going to smile, show those teeth, show those pearly whites, and you're going to greet them. Say hello, how are you, how was your day? The second they walk in the door, that's when you start finding out everything about them. Simply by asking how are you, how was your day, they might tell you, oh, I just got back from work. That means they have a job. That's important. You want them excited to be there. So when you show happy emotions, they're going to mirror it right back, assuming they're not a complete psycho, obviously. When they walk in the door, if you have handouts, information about the property, you know what utilities are, how much the rent is, everything that's important to them, they want to know right when they walk in the door so they can immediately make a judgment call before they even see the place. Always be early for the showing. Show up at least 15 minutes ahead of time, open the doors, turn the fans on if you need them, turn the lights on. One thing I've learned is to focus on the 5 senses. Sight, smell, sound, probably not taste or touch unless you're trying to go to prison or maybe own a brothel. In which case, do whatever you want. That was a joke, don't do that. Depending on the time of the year, you might want to open the windows to get a cross breeze. You want to be comfortable for them. Once again, talking about the 5 senses. Sight, obviously you're going to see the property, both outside and inside. They're going to smell the property. Hopefully it's not a bad smell. I generally try to light a candle. I usually like to do something that's kind of like a neutral scent, so something like lavender. It's lit. Light the candle, set the mood, so they have no choice but to rent from you. Number 2 is going to be don't forget the outside of the building. The inside of the property is just as important as the outside. Think about if you were a prospective tenant, you drove to the property, you came up, you saw the front of it, and there were shingles falling off the roof, you had the grass overgrown, the driveway looked like crap. You're not going to want to rent there just as much as I'm not going to want to rent there. So put yourself in the shoes of that tenant. Think about every minor detail that they might notice and think negative about it. And if you find those negative things, fix it, make it positive. Cut the grass, fix the roof, even though that's obviously like a very in-depth, long-term thing. Maybe get a hanging plant and hang it from the porch. Make it look good. When it comes to garbage, make sure there's no garbage sitting around the property. So every time before you show the property, walk around the property just one time and just look around. Do you see garbage? Do you see some kind of trash on the ground? Pick it up, throw it out. So talking about garbage, try to make sure there's no overflowing garbage bins in front of the house, next to the house. Make sure it's clean. Make sure everything's in the trash like it should be. One thing I try to avoid doing is showing the property on garbage day. Because usually on garbage day, obviously, the garbage is going to be sitting in the front of the property. It's not necessarily a good look, regardless if the garbage is put together. There's something in front of the property that, once again, might be a negative to the actual prospective tenant. Number 3, have a happy medium when they're here, when it comes to letting them walk around on their own and versus you walking them through the property and talking to them. You want to tend to envision themselves living here. So get them comfortable, let them walk around, let them talk amongst themselves if it's more than one person, obviously. Let them imagine that it was their home and they were living there. When they first walk on the property, supply them with just general information. What the rent is, utilities, about the surrounding area, whether there's grocery stores, the post office, the town hall, whatever it is, let them know. But you want basic information. You're not trying to overload them immediately when they walk in the door. Once again, you want them to be comfortable and calm when they're here. You're not trying to stress them out. Think about the most attractive highlights of the property. If it's next to the beach, point out the window and point to the beach. If you have a jacuzzi hot tub in the bathroom, make sure they see that. Make sure you highlight that. If there's laundry on the premises, make sure you show it to them. If there's storage, make sure you show them that. Once again, highlight what's attractive and people care about. Talking about how it's gas heat, that's not attractive, that's not exciting to people. Obviously, you want them to know that, that's an important detail, but mention it once and then move on to something more important. The second a prospective tenant walks in the door, that's your opportunity to learn about them. You're essentially going through the vetting process and learning everything about them. Like I said, right when you greet them at the door, they're gonna walk in, ask them how their day was, talk about their job, talk about where they're from. If they have kids, ask how their kids are doing. Every major detail, you're building essentially a resume for them before they even apply. Number 4, just as important as the first one, have documents for the prospective tenants. Make sure you both have hard copies and then copies online that you could obviously email to them when the time comes. That could include rental applications, credit authorization forms, and property information handouts. You want to supply the person with as much information as they can, because once they're done here, they're going home and they're going to think about it. And if they don't have something to actually read, they might forget something, they might automatically move on to the next property because they did receive information. You want these people to be as informed as possible when they leave. Lastly, make Make sure to practice your speech before the tenant even gets here. So on a day that you're not even showing the property to a person, come yourself, walk through the property. You're essentially going to be talking to yourself, just like I'm doing now, actually. So I'm pretty good at it, obviously. So you're going to walk through the property, and once again, think about the highlights, what's important, what's attractive to people. As they walk in the door, say welcome. Come right in. Tell them which room they're standing in, whether it's the kitchen, the dining room, whatever it is when they first walk in the property, because they want to know those things. The way you present the property and yourself is probably the single most important thing when it comes to actually showing an apartment. This is probably the most important thing you can do to turn a prospective tenant into a committed applicant. You don't want to lose those ideal tenants just because you dropped the ball when it came to showing the apartment. So that's it, guys. Be smart about your property showings. Now, what I gotta do, once again, like I said earlier, I gotta go show this property. So I'll talk to you soon. Take care.